I thought maybe you were just trying to be suave and debonair.
I'm suave.
With the yellow eye.
I've got my highlighter. You know what that means. Time for Words on the Street. That's where we talk about real estate terms, just anything. And we just happen to have a book here that has every real estate term in the world in it. This book came about because Susie was showing houses to some folks that had some little bitty kids, and those kids are just bored to tears looking at houses. So she got the bright idea of
Putting a puzzle book together. So this is a word find book that we give to our clients when showing. So this gives the kids something to do, and the parents then can focus on looking at the house and spending some time on it. So we found it to be very helpful, but we decided to do something fun too.
people just have so many questions about real estate terms, processes. We deal with this every day, but sometimes we forget that, you don't. So we really need to talk about what some of these terms mean. So let's just grab one out of here and talk about it. Joists. Joists. All right, I'm marking it. Not thrilling, but what are they? They are part of a framing of a house, commonly used to hold your floor up. They're usually like 2x10s, 2x12s. They run across the floors underneath the house and keep the floor up. Sometimes in some of these older houses, well, not real old, but like built in the 70s, if you walk across the floor, you're going to feel them kind of springy. That's because they have wide spacing between the joists. They weren't all that thick either. They're only maybe 6 inches wide, maybe sometimes even 2x4s I've seen. So that's the kind of thing that might come up on a home inspection. Your inspector will draw your attention to the fact that the joists might be
or too far apart. So that's when codes come in and they change the spacing of it from time to time. So you may, on an inspection, the inspector might say, hey, your joists are too far apart. And so the floor gets a little springy. So we have assessors. Who or what is an assessor?
Well, it's a county employee that assesses property values. In Washington, by law, real estate has to be assessed and appraised at fair market value. Now, the trick is they're usually 3 years behind. Once the assessor comes out, looks at a property, the results don't show up in the tax records for 3 years. And that's why you'll always notice that your tax assessed value is usually a lot lower than what you could actually sell your house for.
Or higher if the market has been really high and then dipped down. So in 2010, you started to notice that your assessed was higher than the actual price.
Yeah, if the market happens to dip, and it might not.
Yeah. Rare, but it does happen.
And one weird thing about new construction, if you buy a brand new house and you look at your tax assessment, even up to a year later, you might notice it's very small amount of money assessed value. And that's because the original assessment for that property was just the land before the house was built. They'll catch up later, and the house value will get added on later.
Yep.
Well, that was kind of fun. That was our first episode of Words on the Street. We thought we were going to do one per episode, but maybe we'll do a couple. If you like the idea of a word search puzzle book on real estate terms, this is actually on Amazon. You can buy your own copy. You can find it at, here's a shortcut for you, wordfindbook.com, or just search for it on Amazon. You'll find us.
And it's a great way, if you're a first-time home buyer, to learn all the terms when buying a house and everything on the repairs and everything.